PETA bought me this to help me with like baking and breads and things like that. I'm very grateful. I wanted to make sure I give them credit. And because it was a gift, I don't know how well you can see this, but it says I PETA bread on the sticker right here, so that I always remember who gave it to me. Bread. Yeah, same bread. Okay, so we have this. We're going to be using this with our mixer. Most people would use something like this, a whisk for this, but you're not trying to beat it all up and together. You're trying to combine it. So you're going to use something like this. This is more for pastries. This is more for whipping. This is more for like combining. And then this is a dough hook. So they're all distinctly different purposes that you need them for. Okay, so we're going to be using that nice twist off bowl. It's suction cup to the platform, which is great, so I don't get shit everywhere. Ingredients. We have golden cane sugar. I like to use brown sugar. Some recipes calls for like normal white sugar, but I don't like to use normal white sugar. It's too heavily processed, so I prefer like a brown sugar. It's better at combining and sticking together too. Jif peanut butter, because I'm a choosy mom, so I prefer Jif peanut butter. I was going to flip the camera, but the ratios don't work right, so I'll do it later. And then 1 whole egg, unless you're a Republican, in which case it's a whole chicken. And then baking soda to help with the rising and spreading process, which PETA would normally just use wet platinum. So, okay, and then our measuring spoon. This is for us to get our individual portions out, for us to measure our baking soda. And the 2 other ingredients, the peanut butter and the brown sugar, are each a cup. So just a cup. So we're going to use that for the brown sugar first, lightly packed. So like more like you're making eye contact and making out, less edge of the bed or flipped over. Lightly packed for the brown sugar, and then a cup of smooth peanut butter. Do not use crunchy. It does not work as well. There's a lot of moisture in the nuts, period. And then I have a nice baking sheet that I really like. I'm not great at spacing, so for me, this one it's non-stick, so I don't have to oil it and cut back on a little bit of that fat, but I like it because it helps me space it out. I can space out my cookies evenly and easier on here, so I prefer to use this. So that's why I really like this one. And then other than that, we're going to preheat our oven to 350. It is a lower temperature than like normal other baking stuff. But it's good because there's not really any like party ingredients in this. This is basically just sugar and fucking fat. And that's why it's going to be so good. Now these cookies only bake for 10 to 12 minutes. So it's a very simple recipe that most people have a lot of this in their house already. So it's not too complex. All right, I'm going to start by getting the sugar. Lightly pack it. I'm not really good at the whole light packing thing. Nothing masked. Okay, light packing. You'll notice lightly packed is it will keep most of its shape as it comes out of the cup, but it will separate as it gets into the cup, into the bowl rather. You don't want it to be solid when it gets in there. That means you packed it too tightly. And if you pack it too tightly, you're adding too much sugar. Why is this an issue in the US? We've talked about this every time we do a baking stream. Almost every other country measures by weight. So the measurements are more precise. In the US, we measure by volume. And by volume, it means that you can get way too much in there if you're not careful. It's why you have to pre-sift flour. It's why you have to pre-sift sugars. It's why you have to pre-sift or lightly pack, not tightly packed sugars. It's why it's that way. Okay, we're gonna do that, and now we have our peanut butter. I like Jif. You can also use Skippy, but I'm a choosy mom, so I prefer this. Let me get a cup of this out of here. This is gonna take a little while to get it all out. I fucking love peanut butter. And yes, I did check this peanut butter. This peanut butter is not one of the ones that got recalled from Lexington production. So we did have to check our peanut butter because we do get it from Costco. If anybody wants the recipe, you can DM me on Discord. I'll send it over to you. It's a very simple recipe. I believe this specific recipe that I'm using portions wise calls for white sugar. But as I said earlier, I don't like white sugar as much. Let me take this off just for now so I can get this in here, okay? Okay, we're gonna re-add our mixing attachment. Make sure it's good and on there. Lower this down, and we're just gonna start it on low and let it kind of combine together a little bit. It's gonna go for just a couple minutes before we add everything else in. I am gonna stop it now, about 30 seconds in, use my spatula and push everything back down in here a little bit. You can see it's kind of a little bit grainy, but it's going to stay that way for a little bit, so that's fine. And you want to get that creamy peanut butter down into where the mixer actually is. Combine together a little bit more. It's only on a 1. We're only really stirring. So as you can see, it's a little bit grainy. It looks like natural peanut butter now. Baking soda. 1. If you're a Democrat, it was just an egg. If you are a Republican, it's 1 full chicken. All right, we're going to combine the baking soda, not baking powder, they're different, and the egg together now, just for a little bit. We're going to pop this up. Grab my spatula back again. Ooh, look at that timing. John, you all didn't hear that, but the oven is primed. Get that down there. I'm going to push everything back into the middle again. We want to make sure the egg, because the egg is really the only thing keeping this shit together once it bakes, is really the only thing kind of keeping all the ingredients and stiffening agent that's really in here. Oh, it's looking much more dough-like now. We're going to do one more stop, lift, look. See that consistency? Much more cohesive, much more together. So we're going to take this out of here. I always unplug my mixer. I will tell you about why I did that here in a second, as soon as I clean this all off. Let's do that. So when I was a kid, I think I've told some of you this story already. When I was a kid, my mother made brownies. And my younger brother, the next one, the number 2 of the group, there's 5. If you didn't know, I have 5 siblings, or 4 siblings. Look at this, much more dough consistency. See that? This looks like cookie dough now. I'm gonna roll these up into little balls, and I'm gonna use these evenly spacings on my cookie sheet. They don't have to be perfect. All right, these are going in. We have 3, 6, 9, 12 cookies. That's about what this should make, is about a dozen. These are gonna go in for 10 to 12 minutes.
A few moments later.
3, 2 cookies. Look how good they look. I'll pull them up closer. Look how good they look. They're delicious. Oh, they look so good. All right, I got my husband. We're going to try cookies. The look on Patty's face when Connor didn't hear. I literally I was like, hey, hon, Amma. Hey, hon, Amma. And then I muted and went, hey! And you didn't say anything.
I have my headphones in.
All right, ready? They're still hot.
So it's gonna burn me?
No, probably not. Right here. Ready?
Oh, cheers.
Cheers. Yum.
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 Crackly.
Yeah. Only 4 ingredients. If this is something that you really enjoyed, let me know. Either send me something on socials or send me a DM in Discord. And maybe this is something we could do more. And if there's a recipe you want to see, let me know, because I'll try to focus on doing recipes that people actually have an interest in. Bye.